Welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive into professional-grade AV distribution. Specifically, we're looking at the WolfPack 4K 30Hz 8x10 AV over IP PoE Matrix Switch.
Right. And the core challenge with these systems is always managing complexity. You've got, what, 8 sources needing to go to potentially 10 different screens?
Or any mix, yeah.
Exactly. And doing that while keeping the picture quality high, latency low, and sending it over potentially long distances. This WolfPack unit has some interesting approaches.
So let's start with the basics. How does it actually move the signal?
Okay, so it's using AV over IP. That means it sends the 4K 30Hz HDMI video plus audio up to about 450 feet.
Wow, 450 feet.
Yeah, and it does this over just a single standard CT6 network cable. Plus, it uses PoE power over Ethernet.
Ah, PoE. So less wiring clutter at the displays.
Precisely. Single cable for signal and power makes installation much cleaner.
Now, you mentioned efficiency earlier. The source material highlights the encoding, HT265, right?
That's right. H265 is key here. It's a very efficient compression standard. And because of that, even if you're pushing multiple 4K streams, maybe even doing a quad view on some outputs,
Okay.
the total bandwidth needed for the whole system stays under 1 gigabit per second.
Just 1 gig. For everything. That seems low for potentially 8 sources of 4K.
It is low.
Yeah.
And that's significant. Think about network infrastructure. Lots of places might still have 1 gig switches deployed widely.
So you wouldn't necessarily need a full network overhaul just to add this AV system.
Exactly. It can slot into existing infrastructure more easily, which is a big plus for stability and cost.
Let's talk hardware. The transmitters and receivers, the bits at each end.
What's interesting here is that the TX, the transmitter, and the RX, the receiver unit, they're actually the same physical box.
Really? How does that work?
You use their PC software to tell the box whether it should act as a transmitter or a receiver.
So it's software defined. That sounds flexible.
Very flexible, simplifies inventory for installers, and it means you can easily expand the system later. The sources say it can scale up to, well, over 100 TVs if needed.
Okay, shifting gears to how you actually use it, there's a feature mentioned prominently, a real-time video preview.
Yes, this seems to be a major selling point. You can use a wireless iPad or an Android tablet connected to the network.
Right.
And you get a live preview of all the input sources simultaneously. And crucially, it's full motion video, not just static thumbnail images.
Full motion. That's quite different from the usual static previews you sometimes see. Lets you really check the source content before switching.
Exactly. The source material notes this is a specific feature offered by the vendor, HDTV Supply, and sets it apart.
And how fast is the switching itself if you pick a source from that tablet preview?
It's designed for fast, seamless switching. They claim latency can be as low as 80 milliseconds in certain modes.
Yay, milsers. That's pretty quick. Good for live events or command centers, I imagine.
Definitely. And it also has robust video wall support. You can configure things like a 3x3 wall or even use all 10 outputs for an 8x10 setup if you had the sources.
Managed through software, I assume?
Yes. Specifically, a tool called XView is mentioned for the video wall configuration.
Got it. Any other functional details?
Well, it supports 4K 30Hz live streaming out, which could be useful. And there's an HDMI loop out port on the transmitter units.
Ah, the loop out. So you can have a local monitor right beside the source device for confidence checking.
Exactly. Handy for troubleshooting or local viewing.
Okay, so the tablet control sounds great for day-to-day use. What about the initial setup? You mentioned PC software.
Right. This is important to understand. While the tablet app is great for that preview and switching, the core configuration. Things like setting IP addresses for all the units, designing the video wall layouts, managing the EDID settings.
EDID, that's the handshake data between source and screen, right?
Correct. All that foundational stuff relies on specific PC software tools. They mentioned Design Editor and that XView tool again.
So you need a PC with this software to get it running or make fundamental changes. It doesn't just run off a web browser interface built into the unit.
Apparently not for the core setup, no. It seems heavily dependent on those specific applications. And remember, you also need to add your own Wi-Fi router to the network for the tablet control to work.
That reliance on proprietary PC software, does that raise any concerns for you, like long-term maintenance or if that specific PC isn't available?
It's definitely a consideration. It means configuration isn't as standardized as a web GUI might be. Also, one technical point on audio. Both the TX and RX units have audio output connectors.
Okay, for pulling audio out separately.
Yes, but it's only for extracting audio from the video signal passing through that specific unit. It cannot function as an independent audio matrix switcher. You can't route audio from source 1 to display 5, while display 5 shows video from source 2, for example.
Ah, good clarification. So it's audio de-embedding, not separate audio routing.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. For you, the listener, what we're seeing here is a system that strikes a specific balance. You get high-res, 4K 30 video distribution.
With that really impressive network efficiency, keeping bandwidth under 1 gig thanks to H.265.
And you get that powerful, user-friendly, real-time preview on a tablet.
But the trade-off seems to be in the setup and configuration. You get that hardware flexibility, sure, but it's tied quite tightly to proprietary PC software design editor, XView for all the critical settings.
Which leads to our final thought for you to consider.
Yeah, think about this. When a system relies so heavily on specific PC applications for its core setup, rather than maybe a standard web interface, what does that mean for its long-term scalability? Or for maintenance down the road? How easy is it to manage years later compared to systems using more open or standardized control methods? That's the balance you need to weigh.